Pelicans win 107-100 over the Milwaukee Bucks. Chaz and Lito tonight. Let's do it.
First took away. Gas for this. Get your money's worth now.
Presented to you by the Birdsall Lawfirm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk, located 19 Poydras Street by the Superdome. Give them a call at 504-523-5413 as you're someone you know has been involved in an accident. The Birdsall Lawfirm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk. Like I said before, Chaz and Lito joining tonight. Lito, let's flash. You know what? Damn. I said I'll give you I'll let you talk about Jonas Valanciunas first. So the floor is yours. You got Jonas Valanciunas. Lito, the floor is yours.
I promised Twitter that I'd stay on the camera for 5 seconds before I talked about the malpractice of the miseducation that is of Jonas Valanciunas. Hey man, look, 23 minutes, a double. Rim protection. He did a hell of a job. He had Giannis. He had Giannis on 2 straight possessions where he guarded him at the rim, did not foul him, and either got a piece of the shot or just well defended it. He had some great rebounds. He a professional basketball player. He can hold up. Wait. Hold up. Go back to that comment. You're a fucking lie. You're a fucking lie, Mac. You're a lie. Hey. Okay, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Listen. Jonas, he's 1 for 3 from 3. He is a threat when he's on the floor, when used properly. Unlike redacted. There are times on the floor when Jonas can be he's a safety valve on offense. Like he's a guy, he's a tight end, right? He's a tight end to a quarterback. He's a guy you can he's a safety valve. Nothing. Justin, for instance, in the fourth quarter when the offense got stagnant,
he did also in the second quarter. Beginning of the second quarter, he did it too. Remember, they had a really bad end of that first quarter. Second quarter, he comes back. I think his first shot is that like set play where it's on the right wing. I think Najee Marshall set a down screen for JV. He flashed high post, hit a 15-footer, and then had a layup, then he hit a 3. Like that was a sequence to start the second quarter.
Look, man, it was two questionable coaches against each other tonight. So you do with that what you will. But I feel like, when Jonas number called, Jonas go show up. And shout out to him for just always being ready.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that later in the show. Chaz joining. Chaz, can we talk about the sequence of Herb Jones?
Oh, the blocks? That
was a block. It was a block on Dame. Then a block on Giannis. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so. If I'm not mistaken.
Then he follows that possession after blocking Giannis. 3-ball, comes back down, deflection, steal, layup. So 2 blocks, a 3-ball, a layup, and a steal in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, man.
And talking shit to Dame.
Yeah, Dame kind of washed at this point. But still, he stood up for himself. But 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 3 blocks. Damn, needed one more block, Herb. And took 4 3-point attempts, made all 4 of his free. Yo, I'm playing that fucking number. Hold on. Let me take a screenshot of this. I'm playing these numbers because this can't be no coincidence. But shout out to Herb, man, for his defensive prowess and was efficient enough not to pick up that final that 6th foul. Was efficient enough. There was one sequence, and we'll talk about all this later, but man, sometimes when you got some low IQ on the floor, it can just drag the entire team down. And I think one of the reasons we won tonight was, one, we were missing redacted, but they tried to give it back.
That's my dog.
Because by playing redacted in the closing minutes. But shout out to her, man, stuff in the stat sheet. Shout out to all the guys for group rebounding. Trey, shout out to Trey for
We're going to talk to Trey. That's my next segment here, Chaz.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty okay. So Herb went 4-4 tonight. I think shooting 86% from the line for this year. And Chaz, I don't remember this, but a couple streams ago I talked about it. I think someone in the comments was like, I think we're talking about free throws and clutch free throws, right? Like, who would you want at the line? People said, some said CJ Brandon, Zion, whoever. I was like, no, I want Herb Jones. I want Herb Jones at the free throw line. I think he's one of the like most clutch guys on this team. So shout out to Herb. He was incredible. All right. Perfect transition, Lito, into Trey Murphy. So tonight, and what he's talked about his post-game pressers, post-practice pressers, how the staff and his dad is challenging him to rebound the basketball tonight. A career high 11 rebounds. Also, I thought he had a huge stretch there late in the third when the Bucks got it going. I think Giannis had scored like 20 straight or something ridiculous. Trey went back-to-back threes. I thought that was a huge response by Trey. What'd you see from him tonight?
Man, shout out to Lil Kenny the third. 15, 11, and 5. Look, the shot wasn't falling. He didn't make a ton of shots. But you asked me when Redacted went out, could he step up and fill a role, right? And I told you, for me with him, like the shot is gonna be there. I'm not worried about 4 for 13 or 2 for 9 from 3. What I cared about is defensive intensity and rebounding and playmaking. Tonight, you got a career high in rebounds and you have 5 assists. Like he's looking comfortable on the floor. He's starting to believe in his dribble. His handle's getting tighter, starting to come alive. He had a play tonight. It didn't result in. I don't remember if he scored on it, but he had a play tonight where Giannis was guarding him on the right side, the right wing.
Try to cross him up.
Left. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And
that wasn't the floater, huh? No, that wasn't the floater.
No. But I won't talk about that. I won't talk about that. He sneakily got a dunk in on Giannis, just a quick 2-hand dunk, and it was so crazy. I was like, I had to pause for a minute, and I said, "Dog, he just dunked on Giannis," and he did. And the in between game is coming alive. Like that little floater that he's shooting, bro. He already 6'10". He's shooting a fucking floater. Like what you gonna do with that?
He's been working on that too, because we've seen in previous games where he was hitting throwing the floater off the glass and was rimming in and out. He's barely missing. Now tonight you saw the floater over. I think it was Brook Lopez. It looked pretty smooth too.
Shout out to Coach B for helping players work on their floaters. And when you take them seriously, unlike Redacted, this is what happens.
Chaz from Trey Murphy tonight. So 11 rebounds once again. We talked about this a couple shows ago. You said he's going to get it going after All-Star break. This is kind of what he does. Do you see he's fully confident now in his full game? I feel like tonight, because I don't think he had a midi, but he hit obviously threes, got to the rim, had a couple, had a dunk. He's starting to really attack the rim more. I feel like over these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think a couple of those threes halfway down, rimmed out. 1 or 2 were a bit ill-advised, but
Chaz, I want to talk about that. Wait, I want to talk about the ill-advised thing real quick, because I think that's our only thing with Trey. Is obviously, I like the long-range shots. It keeps the defense honest and stretches them out a lot. I said pause, so it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying though is, I think Trey or Chaz, if he can get in rhythm first by towing the line, hitting a couple there, and then expanding out, I would be fine. Right. I felt like tonight he was expanding out and then kind of started creeping a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was like, fuck, I ain't got no choice. Like Larry won't shoot. Oh damn, Redacted. Yo, we got a couple Redacted. We need to get these motherfuckers extracted. We need to get them extracted off the roster. We'll talk about
keep
that.
Keep going.
But it's two of them. One played and one didn't play, and the other one I wish he didn't play. But so yeah, Trey Murphy. Yeah, a couple of them were he was kind of forced to throw up some shots, play clock winding down, or they couldn't really they couldn't get into the teeth of the defense, so they kind of stayed out along the perimeter, and they were just throwing up a couple of shots, man. And but for his trade, the thing I like the most is he found a way to win, because he found a way to contribute when his bread and butter wasn't working. We in the past we kind of felt like Trey might have strayed away from shied away rather from contact a bit. Not no more. The handle ain't crisp. He doesn't necessarily know how to like fully take advantage of his wingspan just yet. But he a person who he attacks. Like it's like a kid destroying haymakers, and he like I'm fighting back. So when he drives, that's what I see. And more often than not, he gets a good call. He gets to the line, knocks down the free throws. The rebound.
But Chaz, do you feel like that's like? Do you feel like he's
What?
fully healthy now, though? Like having confidence in his knee that, like, you know, he's not thinking about it anymore. Because in the beginning of the year when he was coming back, he was kind of tentative going to the rim. He kind of settled a lot. I feel like now he's like making a point, like, I'm going to attack the rim multiple times a night.
Trey also had 5 assists and 2 steals and no turnovers. But that's incredible. But I don't know. I don't know how much stock I put into it. I think you just got to find your rhythm, find your balance. And he still has some things in it with his game he's working on. And the good thing is he's working through it on the floor. You know what I'm saying? He's not waiting to the offseason to say, yo, I need to work on this. He's like, nah, I need to work on my handle. I'm about to use the little bit of a handle I got right now to try to get to this fucking rim. And he's doing it. And like I say, 5 assists, you know, that's something you definitely don't expect. 2 steals. He just another guy who stuffed the stat sheet when his bread and butter wasn't necessarily working, knocked down all his free throws. Incredible all-around effort from Trey. And those in closing, number 11 rebounds. I think he had 12 and they stole one. Number 11 rebounds can't be overstated because the future of this team really depends on Trey Murphy being able to play small ball 4 or 5. Like you need that desperately.
And he's been doing it over his last 5 or 6 games. Chris Connor joined the show. Chris, so we're talking about Trey Murphy, career high 11 rebounds tonight. But once again, even Lito said it before you even came on the stream, though. A dunk over Giannis? Do you count that a dunk over Giannis? Are you gonna count that?
No. Hey, Lito bugging. No, I'm not counting that.
Y'all some
I
haters.
like
KTSE, Chris.
What's up, man? Shout out to Trey, man. You know, to me, man, it's always the little things. Whether he found a way to still score 15, didn't have a great shooting performance, but I think for him, not even just like with the rebounding and some of the defensive things, it's the small things like certain cuts that he was making that he was missed on, certain passes that he tried when Milwaukee went zone, and then on defense, certain contests that he was able to be a part of and help defense, whether it was by design or he just made the play instinctually. So like Jonas has, I think, it's switched up on Chris Middleton, and on the perimeter, Chris goes to shoot, and Trey, I forgot who Trey was guarding, but Trey decides to go out there and contest with Jonas. Just stuff like that. He did that a few times in the game tonight that I think was critical, man. So I think the small things for Trey are what in this stretch where every minute that you on the floor kind of matters, and you playing these muddy, unorganized, ugly offensive games, you need someone of his talent to do certain things. Grab one of the more, I think, impressive rebounds I've seen him grab, to where I thought Zion was going to grab the ball, and I look up and Trey somehow got it. It was a grown man rebound. So he's taking rebounds out of people's hands too. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. He's not allowing others, to clear out. He said, "No, I got it." So things like that show up, man. I mean, the next game after that, we always talk about it. The shooting will return, the offense will return, but kind of retooling, refining some of the other arts of his game that made him the prospect that he was. It wasn't just when he came out of college. It wasn't, the attraction wasn't just his ability, what he's going to do offensively. It was supposed to be what he can give you defensively, and at that size and some other things, rebounding on the glass and stuff as well.
But Chris, you might have had a good shooting night, but I told this to Chaz and Chris, or Chaz Leo before you joined the show, is he had that big run there late in the third quarter when he went on a 6-0 run by himself. I think the Bucks had cut it to maybe 4. I think maybe cut it to 4, and Trey hit back-to-back threes, and I think Larry Nance hit a corner 3. So, Shane, I see this question started. We're going to talk about this later in the show, but before we get that, if you're new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Liking, smashing that like button helps out the channel. Lito, let's talk Zion Williamson. So, kind of just a struggle all game. The Bucks just have with Brook Lopez and Giannis, and there's just a lot of traffic there. But tonight, the last 4 minutes, it was Zion layup, Zion 2 free throws, Herb 3-point attempt, Zion 2 free throws, CJ 2-point attempt, Zion 2 free throws. Seemed like they made it a point. I know there was some shot clock, a couple almost shot clock violations, and there was some stagnant, and we're going to talk about that. But at least Zion Williamson got some looks late in the game.
Hey, listen, you call it a struggle, and I understand why you do so. I call it that he accepted the challenge, because in particular in prior matchups against this team, he didn't have any success. Like there was like little to no success. I saw him do something tonight that, to me, if he continues to do going forward, he should have a ton of success on whoever he's playing against. The brother put his shoulder in Giannis' chest and moved his ass back to I-10 East, and he got the free throw, right? That's the most important part of it. He didn't do it. He didn't go one way, try to finesse it another way, get a layup. He went through Giannis's arm to get a layup. The ref, that's a little crazy. The ref called it. In prior games, you've seen him.
I thank the Lord. I thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man.
Accountability on this show. Go ahead.
That boy was on a run too. Yeah, that wasn't the first one, but go ahead.
No Diddy. That's crazy. In prior games, you've seen him, not to say he hasn't attacked the paint in a strong manner, but rather so when he got to the paint, he would try to switch hands, lay up, you know what I'm saying, in the air. In this particular time, he didn't care. Even on the reverse, where I think he got the foul on Brook in the fourth quarter, right? Yep. He went strong and he took the bump from Giannis and he then switched it to the other hand. I like what I saw from Zion tonight. And bro, 16 free throws? When the last time this season he had 16 free throws?
Well, that was my next point to Chaz. So Chaz, there's a stat a couple weeks ago where I think it's either drives to the rim or shots at the rim, where Giannis is first in the league and Zion is second. And it's like what field goal attempts, but Giannis has twice the number of free throw attempts than Zion has. Well, tonight Zion gets the free throw line 16 times. Giannis gets there 11. Do you think that Zion's starting to, I guess, get a little bit more craftier drawing fouls? Do you see that at all?
I think maybe a little bit. I think probably as his conditioning continues to improve, his first step probably improves a bit, and it's kind of forcing the issue with other teams, because Zion's probably, like Giannis, is probably a guy who's fouled on probably every single possession. Yeah. Like, so he got 16 tonight. Motherfucker probably could have had 32. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how much credit I give to Zion doing anything different. I just think he's probably in better shape. His condition is there. He's kind of him attacking forces the ref's hand. That's why it's kind of, you would love for Zion to have like an alternate. Like, yo, you gotta, and to me, the alternate gotta be a floater versus the mid-range shot would be incredible.
But you've seen him shoot the floater. You've seen him shoot it a couple times.
Well, I mean something he does efficiently.
I'm agreeing with you, Chaz. I'm just saying, why won't he do that more?
Oh, that's like, that's like a chick fucking OnlyFans. Just because they show it on OnlyFans don't mean it's available to you. I don't care what he does in practice. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's practice. And motherfuckers taking half-court shots in practice. I don't care what he does. But I'm saying, like, in the game, you just don't want him to settle. It's like, look, you keep chipping away. At some point, this wall is going to fall down. And that's what you kind of saw happen a bit tonight. And he was able to step up to the free throw line, knock down the shots. What I really liked was he was switched on to Dame a couple of times, defended Dame well. I thought his defensive rotation was, and honestly, he had a few plays where it's like, that's effort.
He had that block on Dame. Dame beat him. He had that block on Dame.
Yep, great block on Dame, and he had a couple plays. it was in the first half where the Bucks ended up getting this offensive board, but it was like 5 like jump ball attempts with him and Trey, and they were just like tapping the ball and like it's effort plays, those second chances. And I think for him, like of course he didn't get any like offensive rebound credits for that. That's really why he only got 5 boards, because he didn't get any offensive boards. But this is a team this is by coincidence created to stop a Zion-like person. The Bobby Poydras, the Brook Lopez's, the Giannis's. They count on him kind of saying no mas and giving up on attacking them. And tonight he didn't do that. And once he didn't do that, they didn't have a counter for it. They're like, well, fuck, we just gonna have to live with him beating us. So that's what I think happened tonight.
So a couple of things, Chris, that I think Chaz points out is obviously Zion's defensive effort. I mean, tonight, maybe I'm wrong. This, I believe, might be the first time I ever seen him try to take a charge. It was called a charge. They reviewed it, called it a block. But as you said, to Chaz's points, good matchups against Dame Lillard, even had a block on him. Like, is this as good as Zion will get defensively? And do you think he can get in any better shape? Because I feel like this is it.
You think what shape wise?
I think shape wise and like how good he can be defensively. I think this is it. I don't think he can get much, and this is all he has to do. I think this is a really, really good thing. I think he's playing really good defense, and most importantly, effort. There's effort.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't speak for the shape element per se. I guess the conversation about how I think that there are some things he can do better defensively in regards to fundamentals. Like if you see him guard like downhill drives, it's like a bull, in a china shop kind of thing. I mean, he starts defending with his arms, or when players, there was a few times when Giannis was driving down here, and it's probably a horrible example because Giannis does this to everybody, but I've seen in other examples where Zion is out there is defending off of instincts a little bit and athleticism, and I think once he gets an opportunity, I think, or if he dedicates himself to maybe the fundamentals on either side of the floor consistently and working on that side of things, as outside of just being in shape and being generational, then I think that there are some things he could be better at. But the effort, I mean, it's been great moving your feet, and not even just that, wanting some of these matchups, telling your teammates, "Nah, I got him." Going out there and guarding Giannis. That's another thing that you can learn from. The only way you can really do it is by guarding the best, of wanting to guard the best and take on that matchup. When I think traditionally in previous, like who have we seen guard Giannis if it wasn't Herbert? It would be Jonas. That
was a nightmare. Yeah.
And you would stick Zion in the corner, so you would call that a little bit of progression as well.
Yeah. Lito, go ahead. 5, welcome to the show. Go ahead, Lito.
What's up, 5? Man, look, to Chad's point, he bullied the bully. Like the Bucks are a tough team. You know what I'm saying? Like you got an interior presence with Giannis and Brook, and then you got Poydras as well. Man, Bobby Poydras got some crazy eyes, man. He looked like the dude who cut my neighbor grass. Like he looks insane. But I just wanted to say I was in awe of Zion's like foot speed. Giannis was guarding Zion on the perimeter, and like Zion just blew by him. Like he just went by him like a couple times. And Giannis is a hell of an athlete, dog. Like he got a nickname. I ain't saying it because I got respect for myself, but like he got a nickname and everybody know it. So like it's crazy to see him out athleting an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like you see him play against guys all the time, but like to see like that caliber of a player, and he had no answers for him.
So 5, I wanted to get your thoughts because they've already talked about it, but Trey Murphy setting a career high in rebounds tonight with 11. We've talked about this a lot, even text messages. Give me your thoughts on that, because I agree with these guys. You didn't really necessarily have a great shooting night. I thought he had great moments though, but the rebounding, and I think it's a huge thing moving forward. I feel like he's accepted that challenge a little bit.
Yeah, man, this is probably what we've been talking about. This was like preseason, right? If Trey Murphy can rebound the ball, Trey Murphy can play small ball 5. And it's not saying like it alleviates so much. Like he really could. He's just going to add more value to your closing unit, right? Like he's a shooter. Also, he can get boards. Like the best rebound to me was the late game. Like they're in the scramble, and he gets a rebound with one arm and boxing out Giannis. Like there's 2 bucks versus Trey. Like, and he ends up with a rebound. That's a grown man rebound. That's the joint in the park. It's 11-11, and you need the fucking board, and you get it. Like you come up with it. Like that's a big time rebound. I mean, that's gonna get glossed over because Zion has a huge game, but that's a young man that's growing up right in front of us, getting a really important rebound in a very important game. That shouldn't be taken lightly. That should be looked at like, okay, well, that allows you maybe not to play Larry as much, right? That maybe not allows you to. I would like to see JB more, so I'm not going to say not play JB as much, but like it just allows you to do a little bit more. You don't have to be so concrete in your rotations at this point. Now you can be a little bit more fluid.
Lito, would you say Jordan Hawkins had the greatest 0-for-3 performance of the season today? Plus 10. There were a couple that almost 4-point play rimmed in and out. A good take off the dribble, just rimmed. I think it rolled around the rim, fell out. But I wanted to. Jordan Hawkins got, what do you get? 15 minutes tonight, plus 10. I thought he was fine. And then the shocker of the night was Matt Ryan playing 5 minutes and playing kind of like some crucial minutes there in the fourth. What did you think of those two entering the game tonight?
I know you had some words for Willie at practice about Matt Ryan. I know you was in on.
I gave up the Matt Ryan thing. I gave up on that. I gave up. I couldn't believe he was on. I couldn't believe he was playing.
Jordan Hawkins did some things tonight that won't get. They won't show up in the stat sheet. They won't get mentioned on SportsCenter. People probably won't talk about it on the timeline. But he moved the ball. Like he made the next pass. A lot of times it's just simple basketball, bro. Like they swung it to him. He didn't have it. He swung it back to the next person, right? And it kept the movement going, and the offense was not. There was no stagnation at that point. And that's not something that shows up on a stat sheet, but that's something that's important to the game, because you can see, as you saw in the fourth quarter, when it started to, like clockwork, every fourth quarter, the Pelicans just, that's crazy. We did a members only show yesterday, and we talked about identity and doing what you do to get where you got. And it's like the first half, you know who you are. You remember. I know you're asking me a Jordan Hawkins question, but this part is important. You know who you are, and you know what you did to get that lead. And then in the fourth, into the third, going into the fourth, you completely disregard everything you did. You tear it all down.
Why do you think that is? Like, anyone want to answer that? Like, honestly, why do you think that is? It's not. I disagree. I don't think the coaches are saying, "Hey guys, just stand there and not move the ball." I don't know.
Are they correcting it when it's happening?
Like in the moment, no.
Yes.
I don't think
for 60 games have they corrected when it's happened?
No, because it's the same, right? There and like there's no identity. But like I saw a lot of CJ dribbling again tonight, but once again they kind of, it was within the shot clock, but Zion got fouled, made a layup. And even AD was saying on the broadcast, like it started just getting stagnant. So like I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just confused.
What else could it be, Justin?
So I was looking back on the ghost screens.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Looking back on the ghost screen. So Trey Murphy's ghost screening and flaring out to Larry Nance. I think Zion needs to start attacking that ghost screen more. He's just kind of waiting for Trey to clear out, and then the guy fights over and like the kind of plays blown up. The timing of this is not correct. So like a rub screen is supposed to be like, if you're going to attack, I need to attack off of Trey Murphy's hip and go downhill. Zion actually did it once against who did we lose to? The Thunder. And I think Chet came over and blocked it. Or it was like a loose ball foul. But the timing of it was correct. And then he didn't do it again. Chaz.
It's the personnel, bro. It's as simple as the personnel. We could we can get into the science of all these things, but it's the personnel, bro. Like every time Larry and the other redacted guy are in the game, things tend to go to shit. Starting unit sucks for a reason. The unit minus JV at Larry sucks for a reason. You saw it again tonight. Like the team has an identity. This is an inside-out team. But when Larry's there, Larry don't even know. Larry is such a non-threat. It's unbelievable. Like he was, it's unbelievable. Like Larry's just there to take about an extra 2 or 3 seconds off the shot clock. That's what he's there for in crunch time. Zion dribbles, Larry's right there in the dunking spot. He doesn't dunk. He passes it out. Now CJ got to do something wild, throw up a crazy shot, fucking up his numbers. Larry's wide open on the left corner. He doesn't shoot the shot. Now CJ got to do some wild shit, throw the ball at the rim, fucking up his numbers. It's Larry. It's the reason why most of these collapses are happening in the third quarter. Who starts the third quarter? Larry. Speaking
JV
of Larry,
JV started up tonight.
We got some things. We got some things from Larry Nance right here. This just tells me everything I need to know. This just tells me everything I need to know. All right. Shout out to Christian Clark. This is Larry Nance on the Pelicans. That's ironic. Larry Nance on the Pelicans zone defense. We got more wings than KFC. That's strike one. It's crazy. We have Murph. That's strike two. We have Herb. We have Naj. That's strike three. That's strike three. That's enough to get you pulled out the fucking game. But wait, there's more. Wait, there's more.
Chad.
We have some really long athletic wings who can cause havoc on the defensive end, plugging up holes, filling gaps, and also have me and JV back there conducting. Is this man insane? Is he on fucking free base? Is he on rock cocaine? What is he talking about? You stink.
So then Chaz, hold up, Chaz. Awful. So then where are you gonna who do you want to play then right now? Who do you want to play? You want to play JV?
JV.
Okay.
And you can Larry should be 1,000% situational. He's that bad. And honestly, I said it before, I would rather Dyson out there.
So then when Dyson comes back, do you think he then takes over that role? Or
nah, they're not gonna sit Larry down just because of the politics and things involved. But Larry is such a negative out there, it's ridiculous.
So when Brandon comes back, would Larry still close?
Oh, then it's all over. Then you can just punt the rest of the season. Then it's over. But while having fun, while this is fun and competitive and interesting, Larry needs to go sit down somewhere. Like sit the fuck down, bro. Talk about Murphy and Naj.
So then, Chris, who would you close with then? Who are you closing with then?
I don't think it's as simple as I want it to be, man. I mean, I agree partly with Chaz that it's personnel. I also agree is with how they use the personnel. Like, if you whether Zion or Brandon, whoever you have closing, whatever the case may be, even with CJ, when you don't have, like, they don't have a guard, like someone who can consistently create the separation that you may want to get some of the open shots. And then with Zion, as great as he's playing right now, he's one of the more predictable superstars you have in the league in regards to where he's finishing and how you're going to attempt to guard it. So, you would think at that point, well, then let's just run 5 out. Let's just run 5 out. And Larry hit a 3 today. He hit a mid range, or even if it's Jonas, like, you gotta, like, that's really the only option that you have, no matter who's out there. You're better off just running 5 out, and whether that's pick and roll or you're letting, but it makes zero sense to whether it's Larry or Jonas or Brandon's in the game to have someone opposite baseline or have someone in a dunker spot with an already crowded paint waiting on Zion. So it's a multitude of things. So I don't think you really have a fix, because I don't know if the staff is putting the right pieces necessarily together, and I don't think you have the personnel to fix it either. You just need the guys that you have to make incredible shots and incredible plays down the stretch right now. To be honest, I don't think there's a 5 that I would say I want to go to right now, because even if I did, they're not using it right. Larry Larry waiting on a baseline consistently is maddening. It makes zero sense.
You
It
mean
just
the
does.
dunker spot? You talk about the dunker
Dunker
spot?
spot, baseline, what like him sitting waiting for baseline mid-range shots when that's not really his game. He made one tonight. It doesn't make any sense to me when you're talking about like you know who Zion is. You know what Brandon wants to get to. You know where CJ late in games is gonna want to get to. How does having another non-offensive threat as close to the basket as possible help any of that?
And that's really why I say if you gotta spell JV at all, just play Dyson. So the drop off defensively and rebounding, not that Larry's playing this great fucking defense, but the drop off rebounding isn't as significant. Dyson's another like negative as far as like offense, but at least this is a person you got some equity in. Like you're at least counting on him to develop decent. No, I'm not sure. I'm saying in the comments.
No. I know you weren't talking to me. I'm saying at least with Dyson, I can count on him sitting in a fucking corner or a wing.
Right. He gonna at least shoot the three. It's a real viable threat at minimum. Like it's like, come on.
We'll go Jared first and then Lito. You want Lito first?
Yeah, Lito had his hand up
Lito first. Go. Lito and Jared.
Man, look, the problem. Appreciate you, Five. You're a gentleman. The problem is, you say in the dunker spot, right? Okay, cool. I understand that because a competent basketball player, if there's nothing there, will probably just take the open shot right there because nobody's around you. You don't even have to dribble. You don't have to have any movement. It's an open shot. It's a good shot. The problem is redacted cuts. And then when he does cut, Brooke and Giannis are right there. So instead of taking, he literally was right there. He could have took a dribble, made a left hand reverse layup. You dribbled all the way back out. The possession has reset now. The shot clock has not reset. What did we gain from that? And then when Redacted does take the three, he's hitting the side of the backboard. I had a Tony Snell flashback in my living room right now. Like I was going crazy. So he had a decent game. And I think that I've said this before. I don't have a problem with him. I have a problem that his minutes allocation over JV's minutes allocation. That's my problem. He should be a situational player. The best thing that's gonna happen is when there's a separation between him and his coach.
Did you think JV, and then we'll get to five, did you think JV should have closed tonight? Because just listen to y'all's opinions. I mean, JV was like literally had it going tonight. And then also they're gonna double him in the post. Like defenses have shown you, like, yo, we're gonna double JV in the post. I'm listening to LeBron James today, Five, and I hope you finish the whole thing. I mean, it's all about, and JJ says it's all about getting two on the ball and playing numbers, playing 4-on-3. So when you get a guy that you're gonna double all the time, and teams have shown it over and over again, why wouldn't you go to him, especially when the offense gets stagnant? But
you saw how they guarded. You saw how they guarded him. You saw that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Five.
No, it's the math problem that I always bring up, right? It's like where is your advantage coming from? Where can you create, where the defense has to bring two to one guy, and that way you can play 4-on-3 on the other side of the court. Like that's what you want. To be honest, I know an easy way to fix Larry in the corner or in the dunker spot. Have him screen away. But I think this more so is a coaching thing, right? I would back screen for a shooter to get a shot in the corner. I would back screen for a Jordan Hawkins. I would back screen for a Trey Murphy.
DHO?
Wouldn't even be no. Just imagine Zion at the top of the key with the ball in his hands, and they're playing boxes and elbows. So Brook Lopez is in the lane. Yeah, he's helping. Yeah, I'm down screening from the wing, and I'm telling Zion just throw a blind pass to the fucking corner. That way, the next time they're not going to help as much. Brook won't. He won't do it. Although Larry's not making the shot, there's nobody to help. Like this is just a solid screen. Trey Murphy's coming up and he's shooting. If that's how you beat teams, right? You outthink them. Like you have to be able to understand your deficiencies because okay, Larry's not a shooter. Draymond isn't a shooter. All right, he turns into a fucking screener. I don't think I'm one of the great basketball minds, but I could look at that and be like, all right, well, they're not. If they're gonna do that, and I got some shooters out there, let me just screen for them and I'll let them shoot. Just makes sense to me.
Yeah. I would like to. The thing that makes it so difficult is that we've seen them struggle in the same ways, no matter who's out there. With them waiting until 10 seconds on the shot clock to find any kind of motion in their offense. I've seen that with just Brandon late in games. I've seen that with just Zion, and I've seen that with Brandon and Zion. Like, think of the first game I can think of. Remember the first Houston game in New Orleans? They went like the last minute and some change of not getting. It was just consistent, and this time it was elbow action. But they weren't able to get any type of motion, and then it just turns into, well, I'll just dump the ball here to CJ. Like I don't know if it was Lito Chaz mentioned earlier, or I just hoping that they bail me out. And there was a couple like bail me out shots. Like if CJ don't make that three from like 27 feet or whatever it was at the end of the shot clock, I think it was like 5 minutes left in the fourth. I don't know if you win this game. For example, there was certain plays that like it's too much talent available, even with Brandon out, to be this dull and this predictable and not being able to generate easy looks when Zion is in this kind of shape and people are tired of jumping in front of him at certain points. It's a running game. And eventually, like if he's in this shape, somebody gotta be able to say, let's run a pick and roll here. Let's run a screen. We can't even try it. I thought CJ and Zion, and we talked to the members only one of the shows about how good or bad Zion is as a screener. But dog, at some point, it gotta be, even if Herb's the initiator offensively, you gotta be able to come up with something. And they just get stuck doing the same stuff over and over again. Y'all tell me how that translates to winning playoff basketball.
The thing that really troubled me the most, this was a carbon copy of the OKC game just
AD
tonight.
was saying it. Yep.
Yeah, you got to the free throw line and they missed shots. Prime example. To me, this is why I think Willie Green's terrible. And like Larry just happened to be the person here, but this could have been anybody, but it just happened. It just happened to be Larry in this particular situation. Inbound, it's a ATO. Dame is coming off the screen. Herb goes chases Dame under the screen, right? Dame hits the three. This is the stupid part. This is how because a player played a very long time, that doesn't mean he like knows what's going on. The Bucks are in the bonus. Why don't Giannis has the ball? Just foul Giannis, send him to the free throw line.
But you're up. What's the score in that? What's the score?
I think the Pelicans are up like 9.
I mean, yeah, you're not gonna. I mean, like you're not gonna foul to put him on the free throw line just because of that.
But that's the difference between winning and like.
But yes, you're not gonna you're just gonna. I mean,
but think about this. Like you have like the basketball logic, right? Giannis ain't fucking Ray Allen here. Giannis is a dude who misses a bunch of free throws. Like you saw Dallas do it to Zion in the game we lost to Dallas. Like this is like just a common sense play. You're gonna leave the game in Damian Lillard's hand from beyond the arc, or you're gonna send Giannis to the free throw line while they're in the bonus and make him make 2 free throws. That's basically, if he misses both of them, it's essentially a turnover. That's like, wow. And again, Larry just happened to be the player there, but on the other end, the reason why it might look like Larry had a decent game, because across the box score, it looks pretty decent. Larry's like playing in quicksand. Like all the offensive possessions he kills, that's essentially turnovers that'll never get counted. So he might have had 10 turnovers in a row because of all of the possessions he killed, but it'll never get counted as a turnover. What's up, Elijah? And it's just like, it's stuff like that where you just like, what is everybody watching like on the staff? Y'all don't see they're in the bonus. Giannis got the ball. Herb got 5 fouls going under a screen or over a screen chasing Dame. If Dame kicks his leg out, he gets fouled, 3 free throws. Herb is out the game. This is just common sense shit. Like,
yeah, go ahead, Fab.
My fault. to Chaz's point, I don't think I would have fouled him in a sense, but you don't allow Damian Lillard to get a open look. That's an open look for Dame. Like, at least somewhat hedge it. But I think what you're probably worried about, because, you know, Giannis has done this all night, is roll off the screen and no one's there to help. So I get it in theory, but I'm not letting, like, I'm down 9. So a layup doesn't hurt me as much as a 3-point shot, right? Like, I'm not letting one of the greatest.
You're going to give up the slip.
Oh, I'm sorry. They were up. The Pelicans were up 8. So
was this the play from the
hit
top of the
shot-
key? Was this the top of the key? I think he comes
Yeah,
off.
it was after it was after a line make Milwaukee timeout. The Pelicans are up 8. 3 minutes and 27 seconds left. Dame hits the 3, cuts the lead to 5.
And then we take
That's it's no excuse for that.
But that's my. I just think that takes some like wherewithal of like thought process. Like, okay, I'm not giving up threes here. I'd rather give up the dunk than a 3 to Dame. That's just like, you got to have somebody just to have that kind of understanding. I don't know what the conversations were in the huddle. I don't know what the coverage was, but I'm not letting Dame get a look like that. It's just not happening.
Yeah. So this is what we're gonna do, guys. Go ahead. I'm gonna I was gonna get commercial. And what do you want? What are you talking about?
I was just gonna say no. Well, that and like it bro. Like, why we fight? If Giannis wants to play on the perimeter, like, I'm not about to chase him out there, dog. Shoot that. You want to shoot 15 of them? Shoot them bitches. I'm not tripping.
Yeah, I mean, that's how he plays Zion. I mean, shit. Let's go from DraftKings. So what we're gonna do is I'll go fan questions, comments for the panel to answer. Make sure you smash the like button. Let's hear from DraftKings Sportsbook. The NBA season is in full swing, and when I can't get enough of the action on the court, I spice things up by betting on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BOOT. New customers can bet $5 to get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOT. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/promos for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Also presented to you by the Company Burger, located at 4600 Birdsall Street. Chris, we'll start with you from Dallas Star. My problem is Herb picked up way too many fouls on defense early on. We actually need him on offense more than Larry switching off Giannis. Do you think that, it's kind of a two-part question from me because of this comment, but do you think, one, that Herb gets a bad defensive whistle for as good as he is defensively? And two, do you think this could possibly be a problem here in the playoffs where he picks up 2 early fouls and that kind of messes up your rotation for the rest of the game, or for at least the rest of that half?
Sure. I mean, it goes back to how valuable he is defensively, and you don't have they don't have enough options when we're talking about perimeters. And I mean, part of that, I mean, look, Herb is special. He makes plays beyond just beyond his ability, right? We're talking, he's way more smarter than he is in regards to talented, and that's saying a lot because he is ultra talented as well. But I think with Herb, sometimes you get caught in spots. It's like, who else gonna do it? If I'm not out here being aggressive, making plays, if I'm not out here taking on these different matchups, and I mean that's the double-edged sword that you're playing with there. Unfortunately, bro. I mean, when Najee Marshall, is your best wing defender off the bench, like, no disrespect to Najee, there's nights when it works and there's nights when it doesn't, but you don't have another defensive wing specialist. You don't have a rim protector. Herb is out there, he's out there just trying to make shit happen on his own defensively, right? So I don't know, man. I think it's worrisome, but it shouldn't be anything that's surprising. Like, teams are going to attack what can sometimes be an aggressive Herb out there defensively and force you to make changes. And with no Dyson, with even no Jose as an irritant, like, this is the gamble that you end up playing with. So I don't know really what else you could have expected for Herb, because even with that, he was still incredible, man. He had 3 steals, 3 blocks. Like, I mean, you got your money's worth, no matter
4 steals.
Even with the 5-5. You got your money's worth. You know what I'm saying? But this is also a personnel problem or issue as well. It may be a health thing. You add something defensively when Brandon and Dyson comes back, but then we have a whole different question about how often they're out there and who they're playing next to, man. So
right. So appreciate the super chats. X, our man Trey Murphy's rebounding. Joe, see, would be a top 5 team. I knew y'all was tripping. Go Pels. All serious though. Unbelievable. Howard Harper. Yeah, well, I guess we know what we were talking about sometimes. Lido. Shane, I appreciate this one. Man, I feel like CJ missed Zion and Trey tonight on 2 lobs. He missed Trey like almost like ran off the court. Trey almost ran off the court. Why won't he throw it?
CJ don't give
Did you see the one he threw?
I didn't see the one he threw. What did he threw one tonight? Maybe I was letting the dogs out.
CJ gave
that one.
CJ he gave up throwing lobs for Lent. He don't give a shit about that, dog. Like if he dribbling the basketball and you going to look for, you might well just turn back around, son. He's not going to throw that pass. I'm not saying he ain't gonna pass you the ball, but that particular pass, nah, you're not gonna get that from him. And Justin, listen, they fucked over Matt Ryan because he was open for like 5 minutes in the corner and nobody.
There was one moment where Matt was like, "I'm open." Mac, appreciate the super chat, but no comment. But cool, appreciate that. Jarrett from Virtus Alexander, that Zion block on Dame.
They still scored 2 points. I mean, it's cool, but they still scored 2 points on it. Nah, man, this is just the athletic Zion that we're seeing. Yeah, so before let me bring this up. I was thinking about this. Someone asked in the super chat, I think it was PJ, about how to sign up for the members only. So there's a little, like, you got to do it on your computer. There's a little join button by the subscribe. Click the little join button, and it'll kind of walk you through the prompt. So you'll be able to, log in. And
appreciate you doing that, Jared.
No problem. But yeah, shout out to Najee again. I thought he played really good defense tonight. There was a couple plays where he didn't leave Dame. Like, Dame gave up the ball and he just stayed rather than, go help. I think help side is like the one thing the Pelicans need to work on specifically. Like, you got it, like a guy like Giannis, you got to actually step over. You can't just reach with your hands because he's getting through that. But I just want to bring up those kind of 2 points that, hey, you got to step up. Just like that.
All right, so
redacted.
Mac, appreciate this. Chaz, what are your thoughts with JB there early in the second quarter with that second unit? I thought he had a nice little stretch there.
I think I don't particularly attribute it to him being with the second unit necessarily. I think it's just when you give him an opportunity to take some shots, like he's facing off against Bobby Poydras. I think the JV is, even though he's been solid defensively, you have to take advantage of his offensive output. And I think tonight he was incredibly efficient. He had 17 and 10, I think. Yep. Yeah. So in very limited minutes, I really think it was just a testament of him just being overwhelming against Bobby Poydras, but I don't necessarily attribute it to him playing in any particular lineup.
Another one from Shane, Chris. So back to the crunch time minutes, late game struggles, whatever you want to call it. I think this is an interesting question. Why does CJ refuse to move the ball late in games? Well, I also feel like there's not a lot of movement going on to begin with. What are you seeing with that?
Move the ball to whom?
Like Zion gets face covered, like face guarded. He doesn't
where?
try to get open.
To like to where? And I've been. I mean, look, I've said enough the past few games about some of the things that I've noticed or noticing with CJ, but what this one I can't really, I don't really understand. Like, where else do you really expect him to move the basketball to? Like, late in games, for whatever reason, this the floor is clearly it's unbalanced. There doesn't seem to be really any type of action or pace or sets or consistent sets that are operating to open up easy sets. I mean, I'm sorry, easy looks. What do you expect? I mean, and a lot of times, you'll see CJ get the ball with like 6 or 7 seconds left on the clock. Like, hey, bro, do something. we don't know. So I don't really know, because he wouldn't necessarily be the only one that's guilty of that sometimes late in shot clocks or late in games. I mean, like, you get into points and you're gonna see it a lot in the playoffs where, man, eventually, like, it turns down to it comes down to shot making. That's what makes Dame so special. That you're able to put the ball in someone's hands that can get open or create space and make the shot. And CJ, he's advertised to be that kind of individual. So you don't have Brandon out there that's even the threat to make a tough basket. You know what I mean? The Zion had the ball a little bit more late here. I mean, in this game, but he still passed up some shots, and he's 3 to 5 people looking at him every time he's driving downhill. Where else you going to? Even if you throw the ball to Herb, he gonna get the ball right back to CJ. Like he's making $30 million. It's part of his responsibility to find a way to make these plays happen.
Love this question here. Lito from Jade. Y'all think Zeke could physically wear down a whole team in a playoff series on his own?
Hold on 1 second. Let me.
Well, I thank the Lord. Well, I thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man. Did this for you.
That's a little crazy, Jade.
Sorry. I mean,
that's a little crazy. A little crazy of a question.
It's tough.
Oh,
I didn't start this one, by the way. Go ahead.
But I think that I think that Zion could. I think that he could have good games in the playoffs while maybe fouling out the other team's interior players. I think
impose his will, maybe probably the phrase you're probably looking for.
Yeah, it's a little sketchy. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see you, dog. We see
you. Yeah. Why just to answer his question? Like,
all right, Chaz, do you think Zion will be an All-NBA team?
I think so. I think
which team? You think he makes
third?
They
got to be third.
You think it's a lock or no? Wait, Chaz, is that a contract incentive too? Would that kick in?
Nah, I don't think at this point. I think most of his incentives at this point are just help based. But I don't know if he's a lock just because there's so much talent in the league this year, man. Like, it's incredible. But I think if he makes the benchmark, I think he has a good chance to be third. If he finishes this season the way he's playing right now, he has a really good chance to be third team.
Okay.
Anything above third team, I would say that they put some seasoning on it, but I think third team is fair.
Okay. Jarrett from Samuel, it just annoys me that we don't have guys flashing or cutting and getting the ball moving around. I don't understand. We build a lead doing that and then forget about it.
Hell, Sam, I've been saying this for fucking 3 years at this point. Yeah, it annoys the hell out of me too. There was another question I think somebody started about like any options or actions that we run outside of the elbow or the rub screen. They actually ran something tonight that was pretty interesting. It was for JV. It was like pass to the and then there was a cross screen from the point. I was like, oh wow, that's interesting to give a guy that has an advantage against Brook Lopez, which is a shot blocker, and Giannis on the interior. You still went to JV right there. And I was like, wow, all right, where the hell has this been? This would have been good to see against a team like, OKC down the stretch when you couldn't score. Like, this would have been an optimal action to run. So hopefully we see it again, but 9 times out of 10, we won't.
Chris from Thomas, appreciate the super chat, Thomas. Saw the shooters out there tonight. Hawkins, Matt Ryan did play. Too bad we ran nothing for them. Actually, it's an interesting point because I remember when Hawkins was getting consistent playing time, they were running that back screen, down screen for Hawk. I haven't seen that. I mean, he rarely plays, but I didn't see that in 15 minutes tonight. I mean, besides the ghost screen, I don't think they ran anything for Matt Ryan. Chris, do you think this will be a problem also in the playoffs where they don't really run enough sets for shooters?
I mean, anytime we ask questions about running like sets, or we talk about organization, or it's like it's all the same shit. Like it's all a problem until we see it, man. Until we like it's all of it's an issue until we can actually, see some progression in regards to their organization and creativity. And I keep trying to tell myself that in the playoffs, there's maybe some things that they're waiting to utilize, but I mean, the playoffs in a lot of ways have started now for you. So, if I say that that's a problem in regards to the shooters, then I can't just end there. It's all an issue. It's confusing. It's really confusing, and I think it's more. It's even if it's a problem with 70 plus games in, I can't formulate a solution. So, I mean, what's the even if I tell you Five talked about different things that that he thought they should do. Justin, you talk about different things that you think make sense. Chad, you talk about plays you like. Lito, you ask questions why they don't do this or why they don't do that. But where you got to tell me where the realistic solutions are going to come from when we are 70 plus games in and we are still talking about the same issues late in closing games. And Antonio Daniels has to repeat himself when it's under 2 or 1 minute left and they go to back possessions where the ball hasn't even traveled past the 3-point line once it's 10 seconds left on the clock.
I think the only solution, and I don't mean it how it sounds, but it can be taken literally. Also, you just got to keep subtracting the redacted people. Keep subtracting them from the equation, and it'll force your hand. Like today, and there was one, and this wasn't a set. It was end of the shot clock. In the clutch, Zion curls, gets to the rim for a layup, and I'm like, oh, he moved.
First half, right. His off-ball movement where he ducked. Cut. Oh yeah, you're right. It was like a little slide cut, like where he curled off of it and like finished. Yeah.
Okay, that was in the first half. You see?
No, I'm wrong. That was second half. That was second.
Okay, half. That was fourth quarter.
Yeah, this is the one I saw in the fourth in the clutch, and I'm like, damn, we should see a lot more of that. And I think one of the reasons why you won't see a lot more because Larry's a bit of a non-factor in the paint, and it just allows the other guy to cheat down and take up more space from Zion. So I think if you remove Larry from the equation, and honestly, even if you put Hawkins didn't do much, but Dame was paying attention to Hawkins. Dame was like,
you have to. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you have to.
Like,
you have to.
Why do you think Trey Murphy keeps getting these like just simple pump fake, one dribble, like wide open, dunk?
Gotta pay attention to these guys.
Gotta pay attention to them.
Like this thing.
But I don't think you can play Hawkins in crunch time, Chaz. Like,
you probably can't. It's probably situational. If you playing with the lead and you're trying to keep the lead, then cool. Because again, it's situational, and that's something we keep saying. If you need a rebound, then you would just have JV out there. If you need someone to create space, you want some more athleticism, then you should put Hawkins out there. Or put Najee out there. Because what exactly is Larry giving you? All Larry is doing is subtracting from the situation. You go, Lito.
No.
I was just gonna say, another problem. It's not necessarily a set, but another problem that I have with the team is like the wing, whoever the guy on the wing makes an entry pass to the big, probably Jonas, and we just sat there You literally just bring your man and let him basically be doubled because there's no movement. Jose is probably the only guy, and Herb, who will cut through and maybe pop out on the other side. And if there was more of that, like you could literally just use Jonas in the post, just standing there as a rub, right? He could get you an open shot, just standing there. You just have to move. And I know we talk about sets a lot, but honestly, like little movement things like that, bro. That's 2 points. That's an open shot. That's an easy look. That's a layup. Because the thing you got to understand about Jonas is not selfish. He gonna make the smart pass, preferably before the double comes. Like, because as soon as he posts, a lot of times he likes to turn and face, which I think he goes too slow sometimes. Like he pause. That's crazy. But he doesn't take advantage. He doesn't take advantage of the
crazy. No one.
Well, I thank the Lord. Well, I thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man.
I'm gonna watch this film. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna be better. He takes a little long. He should just go immediately, right? But with that being said, to go back to the earlier point, Justin, Chris said this, personnel, right? So I said coaching, but you know what? I'm gonna say it's probably 60-40. It's coaching and IQ for the people on the floor.
Fair. And we talk about sets, but like if you realize it, guys, like sets aren't like, unless it's like a 6-second game, like sideline out of bounds, baseline out of bounds, sets aren't being run in crunch time. It's your two best players in the same action. I mean, literally tonight, it's a Giannis screen for Dame. I forget who I was watching. It's like a Kristaps screen for Tatum. It's a Jokic screen for Murray. Like that's what it is. It's involving your two best players in the action. There aren't really many sets being run in crunch time situations, but those teams understand, like, all right, Jamal, you got the ball. Jokic just hit the high ball screen. Gordon, you're in the dunker spot. Porter, you space out. And what, KCP, whoever, you space out the other. Like, there's an identity there.
IQ, though.
Yeah.
IQ.
Just, to Justin's point, it's all about principles. It's not about real sets. It's about, like, what are you basing your team on? Like, what are you known for? And I think Chris talked about this in the members only joint. Like, how is this team defined? And most people probably listen to this. I think PJ put in, like, it sounds like the team just lost. Like, no, we just think this team should be better than what it is presenting. Right? There's no way you should only have 107 points tonight. There's no way you should be losing to teams. You had a 0-18 record against teams in the clutch. Like, it shouldn't be this way. So we kind of see more for this team. So that's probably why we feel like that. But, like, the principles aren't there. So we don't know. We have an idea of what the team should look like, but we don't know how they think the team should look like, if that makes sense.
Fair. Hour 8 in, we'll go a couple more minutes. So
a few more star comments.
Lito, why is Mike Thomas back in the pod?
That's crazy. X, that's a great question, dog. I don't know. Man, we've been trying to get Mike on the pod. Like we've been hollering at every connect we know to get Mike on the pod, man. Mike ain't hollering, man. Mike, what's up with that, bro? Come talk to us, man.
Chaz, do you think Dyson returns back Saturday?
Damn, I mean, it's like getting a chick you hate pregnant. It's like, I'm happy for my child, but damn, I'm stuck with this bitch. So that's how I feel. I'm like, if Dyson come back, it's like, I'm happy because I hope I see that's Larry. But it's like, I don't give a fuck, honestly. If they would have told me we'll never see him again, I'd have been like, oh, damn, that's crazy. But I don't give a fuck. like, I don't care. Shout out to the DeJounte Murray, man. Shout out to the DeJounte Murray.
Lito, just go 5 seconds.
Oh, that was bananas. That was crazy. That was foul. That was.
Well, I thank the Lord. Well, I thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man.
I really don't know what I could possibly say, honestly, to just end the show. Just end it. Just get it over with.
Y'all, Saturday night. Make sure you smash the like button.